Hello and welcome to Madison, Wisconsin for the Big Ten Tournament of Softball, a quarterfinal matchup between the Michigan Wolverines, the #1 seed, and the Michigan State Spartans, the #8 seed, here on a late night atmosphere, just past 10:10 local time, 11:10 Eastern. I'm Alex Drain alongside Jeremy Parks. It's a balmy, about 41 degrees with a breeze. A lot of rain today. The first game was delayed significantly. That was between Minnesota and Wisconsin, and they fit in Indiana and Illinois before this one. And so now the last game of the evening, Michigan and Michigan State. Are you excited?
Oh, absolutely. Finally getting underway. This original first pitch was supposed to be 4:30 this afternoon Central Time, 5:30 Eastern Time. Delayed just about 6 hours by the time we're going to get underway here. It's 10:15 in Madison on Central Time, 11:15 back home in Ann Arbor. But excited to get underway and bring it to you all live for WCBN Sports. Always good to be back here at the Diamond, and a good game that we just watched wrap up as well on a Taylor Uden walk-off home run for the Indiana Hoosiers to take that one by a score of 2-1 over the Illinois Illini. And so they're going to push tomorrow to face Minnesota. Michigan, though, is going to be the last game of the day. That fourth quarterfinal game between Northwestern and Iowa is going to happen tomorrow morning. I believe first pitch slated for 10 a.m.
10 or 10:30. I don't remember which one it was.
And Michigan will follow up shortly after that, or I should say the second semifinal game. That Minnesota and Indiana game will start it off.
So for this game, Michigan putting the only pitcher that Michigan State has faced in the matchup between these two teams this season, Megan Bobian on the mound, the lefty ace for the Wolverines, who has been so good as a freshman, the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, facing the Spartans, and it'll be Leah Forrester leading off. She's the best hitter on the Spartans club, the leadoff center fielder. And the first pitch from Bobian is a strike. Bobian this season against Michigan State, a pair of starts, 12 innings pitched, and between those 12 innings, 14 strikeouts, just 4 hits allowed, 1 walk in that time, no runs. Michigan State's going to have to find a way to figure out Bobian here today if they have any shot. Second pitch to Forrester, swing and a miss.
Bobian going to mix it in there again this week, named the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, also named Big Ten First Team honors. So again, just a breakout season, one of the best freshmen in the country, one of the best arms overall in the country for Megan Bobian in the maize and blue.
So now the count 0-2 on Forrester. Bobian delivers the pitch just off the plate outside.
Katie Alexander is always backing up the back end of the battery behind the plate today. Typical alignment for the Wolverines defensively, both infield and outfield, as they have remained for the majority of the season.
Yeah, Uden, Rodriguez, Canfield, and Blanco left to right in the infield. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming. Got her on the outside corner. Strike 3 call. And there is 1 out.
Forrester thought about taking that one, showed a check swing, but catching that lower outside edge for Bobian, the first strikeout of the game. She's had 7 strikeouts in both of her starts against the Spartans so far this season, and 1 on the board here, the first out of the game.
So here's the designated player, Mackenzie Long, another lefty hitter facing the lefty Bobian. A .336 average for Long. And the first pitch is fouled back to the screen right in front of us. We're seated right behind home plate. Great view.
Top 2 hitters for this Spartans lineup. Again, the lineup same as yesterday in Michigan State's opening matchup here at the tournament against Nebraska. They won 4-3, but 0 for 6 combined between Forrester and Long in the 1-2 spots.
The 0-1 pitch dives outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Wind is a factor. It is blowing right to left.
Get the official barometer reading here in just a second.
The 1-1 coming to Long is a strike on the outside corner. Bobian's command very sharp early on in this one.
Yep, that wind gusting from right to left at about 10 miles an hour right now, according to the barometer. Looks a little harder down on the field.
Feels harder.
Yeah. Cut right through you.
The 1-2 coming to Long, and that one just misses outside, 2-2. Bobian trying to carve up Mackenzie Long. Katie Ladd is on deck here in the top of the first. Late night softball action between a pair of interstate rivals, Michigan and Michigan State. The 2-2 coming along. Check swing, it's in the dirt, and she did not go. So the count goes full 3-2.
Now Beaubien in these first two at-bats has favored that outside edge on two lefty hitters. We'll see where she decides to go here with the payoff pitch. You know, she loves that changeup as the strikeout pitch.
The 3-2 coming, swing and a miss. She got her on strikes. And 2 up, 2 down, both victims of the strikeout. One looking, one swinging.
Not bad at all. Little tailing action on that pitch there right at the end. Came down and away as it came over the plate there, but as you said, 2 strikeouts for Megan Beaubien against the first 2 batters faced, cruising right along here through the start of the first.
So Katie Ladd comes to the plate now, and she takes a pitch a little high and outside. Ladd, the shortstop, was 2 for 3 in the game yesterday.
Had a long ball for the Spartans, brought across herself on the solo shot RBI.
The 1-0 on Ladd. She swings and hits one right back up the middle, a base hit. And the Spartans have their first hit of the game.
Having a tidy little tournament here so far as Katie Ladd, as she jumps to 3 for 4 now in her first couple of at-bats here in the Big Ten tournament action. And the first base runner of the evening for the Spartans.
So to bring up Kelsey Carrasco, who was 1 for 2 yesterday with a run scored. Carrasco playing first base, wearing number 17, at .298 average on the season with 33 RBIs, 6 homers, 10 doubles. So she's got some power and watches a pitch float high 1-0.
Alexander keeping an eye on Ladd down at first base. She took a healthy secondary jump there.
Alexander definitely someone you don't want to run on. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a soft tapper to third. Uden Fields fires across the diamond, and that'll get it done. So a pair of strikeouts, 1 single given up, but really no harm done. So we go to the bottom of the first. Our score, Michigan 0, Michigan State 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
As always, thanks to all our listeners for tuning in, both at home in Ann Arbor and across the country on WCBN Sports, YouTube, WCBNsports.org, the whole Michigan Student Softball, the radio network. As always, feel free to interact with us on Twitter throughout the broadcast, at WCBN Sports, the handle for that. Would love to get my Twitter fingers going to warm them up here.
So, for the Spartans, it's going to be Christina Zalewski getting the start. She started the first game for the Spartans against Michigan. In 6 innings, she gave up 6 hits and 1 run. It was a 1-0 final, so she got the loss. But overall, Michigan made contact against her, but they were just unable to bring more runs in than they probably should have. She pitched through trouble in that one. She's very good, a senior. It was actually her senior day when these two teams met in East Lansing for the second of their 2 meetings, but she had a cortisone shot in her shoulder, was unable to go in that one. But she's definitely the strongest pitcher on this staff, and she's a formidable foe for the Michigan offense.
We'll see how she spins it here in the cold. Obviously going to affect both the pitchers and the hitters. But really, the season line for Zalewski, an impressive one. 2.20 ERA coming into this one. Has suffered from a lack of run support in some of her losses, but 14-10 overall on the win-loss line. And just an overwhelming 156 strikeouts to 42 walks on the season. So an effective and efficient pitcher that the Wolverines will be facing here tonight in this quarterfinal.
So it'll be leading off Faith Canfield, with the highest average on the team at .404 entering the game today.
4th overall in the Big Ten in average.
First pitch gets the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Canfield steps out and takes 2 half-practice swings before stepping back in. Taps the plate once, cocks the bat over the right shoulder. Peers in, it's Zalewski, the 0-1 delivery. She swings and taps it right to first. A little bobble, but then touching the bag for the out is Carrasco.
Again, just a little unsure. If you were paying attention on Big Ten Network earlier today, there was an actual delay for a helicopter to come out here to dry off the infield and outfield, but we saw in the last game as well when Drain and I arrived for the end of that Indiana-Illinois game, that infield still a little unpredictable.
Still slick, as Natalie Peters will step in, the lefty slapper in the number 2 hole for the Wolverines, and she takes a ball low from Zalewski.
Peters hitting .318 on the season for the Wolverines. Effective in that 2 spot. A lot of speed once she gets out of the box.
An even 50 hits in the regular season. She takes another ball outside, so the count 2-0. She is a threat to steal when she gets on. And her biggest goal is to get on base with Blanco and Uden coming up. The 2-0 coming is a strike on the outside corner.
Well placed by Zalewski. Behind the plate for her is Lindsey Besson, giving the signs and working it. A nice frame job as well there.
The 2-1 and a high chopper to third, gloved and then thrown across the diamond by Eveland. Nice play there for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Eveland was played up about 5 steps off third base up that line. And a good job to be right there in front of it, make the grab, and the strong toss over to first for the second out of the inning.
So here's Tara Blanco, the senior, who has maybe had her best all-around season as a Wolverine. Certainly a monstrous offensive campaign as a sophomore, but emerging as both the pitcher and the hitter this season, and she swings and misses on pitch number 1. Leads the team with 10 home runs and a .360 average, also pretty handsome. The 0-1 is a strike. So Zalewski gets ahead of the Wolverines' most dangerous hitter.
Again, Blanco going to be in protection mode, but can't be too eager here. Trying to work the good eye.
The 0-2 coming from Zalewski, dives outside. And the count is 1-2.
Just looking for the fish there, but Blanco saw that one right out of the hand, well off the plate by a couple feet.
The 1-2 is outside and down.
And you can tell Blanco sensed that behind her back foot there. You can see Besson as she slid over a foot to that outside part of the plate, knows where they're setting up. And that's just good hitting and a good eye.
Blanco's been drawing a ton of walks this season. The 2-2 is fouled back to the screen. By far the team lead, and it's not particularly close even given that. Sometimes she's been intentionally walked. There's been a few of those, a couple intentional, unintentional walks. Not too many Big Ten pitchers wanting to face Blanco, especially in situations like these with no one aboard. The 3-2 pitch, and she swings and fouls a lookout just over the head of a few fans and ricochets off the bleachers. The count stays full.
As they adjust the scoreboard, I think it is still just a 2-2 count, actually. They had a bit of a goof. They put 3 balls, then 4, then brought it back down to 2. So it's an even count, 2-2.
Here's the pitch. Got her on the outside corner. Nice delivery there from Zalewski. Fine inning from her. So we go to the top of the second. No score between Michigan and Michigan State.
Again, you're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Big Ten quarterfinal action here from Madison, Wisconsin. We're dipping under 40 degrees here pretty soon. Drain and I with a nice vantage point right behind home plate, about 2 rows back next to the Big Ten camera well. Outdoors, to say the least. Bundled up in our official WCBN quarter zips.
Not enough, though.
No, not at all. Muscling through, so excuse the couple of sniffles that you'll get there throughout the broadcast. You know, we touched 80 degrees in Ann Arbor this week.
Well,
humid.
It's worth noting that the last time these two teams played, it was in East Lansing. I was there for that game. That was only about 2 weeks ago. It was 84 degrees. I was sweltering in the booth that they gave me down at Sekia Stadium. And this is a total role reversal, but that's what you get when you do spring sports in this part of the country.
Weather that belongs back in March.
Unpredictability. So it'll be 5-6-7 for the Spartans. Eveland, Eccles, and Quinlan. Eveland, a .322 hitter, entering the game today with 6 homers. There's some solid power. She was 1 for 2 in the game yesterday with a walk and a run scored.
Yep, had one knock off of the Cornhuskers. Trying to build here. Again, to start off the inning for the Spartans. Got one base runner back in the first off the single from Ladd. Could not do anything with it. And in this cold, those base runners may be coming at a premium.
So the first pitch from Beaubien is in the dirt and outside, 1-0.
Eveland was third highest on the team in average this season for the Spartans.
1-0 pitch, darts high. So Eveland is ahead of Beaubien. We'll see what she can do with this favorable count.
She's got a little bit of pop in that bat as well. 6 long balls.
The 2-0, just a little high.
Not sure where that one missed. It seemed right over the heart, maybe up at the letters or a little higher, but Michigan State in the all-gray pants and jerseys with the white socks, green lettering. Michigan in the navy pants and then the white jerseys with the blue accent sleeves, and the maize Michigan emblazoned across the front.
The 3-0 coming to Eveland. She swings and hits one down the right field line, and it's going to drop in fair ball. And it is bobbled there by Hoganrod, and scampering down to second is Caitlin Eveland. Or actually, that is Falk and Wright, excuse me.
I think Falk thought that one might stop up a little bit harder in the wet grass of the outfield, but had a little bit of a roll down that first baseline, and she overtracked it, got it in between her feet, had to turn around. There probably wouldn't have been much of a play at second anyways.
Eveland took an aggressive turn and was ready to capitalize on that, so a bloop single that falls in just down the line has a runner on second and nobody out.
2 bags to open up the inning for the Spartans. Need to capitalize here.
See if they decide to bunt Eccles to move the run over. They do not, and a strike is taken.
Eccles 2 for 3 yesterday against the Huskers, so a bit of a hot bat as well to start off the tournament, so no small ball to be had.
Very speedy, though, 3 triples. She swings and misses, and now the count is 0-2 on Ebony Eccles.
Now Beaubien's got a little bit of room to work. Maybe try to go back to the outside and draw that fish, go up a little bit high with the rise action. We'll see.
Yeah, would like a strikeout. The 0-2 pitch is outside.
Yep, not particularly appetizing, that one, pretty clearly off the plate for Eccles.
The count is 1-2. The pitch swung on and tapped off the catcher, Alexander, and dribbling backwards towards the backstop for a foul. The count stays 1-2.
Katie Alexander lost out on all defensive team honors for the Big Ten to Gavin of Ohio State, but for all intents and purposes has been fantastic behind the plate for the Wolverines this season.
So the count 1-2 on Eccles. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her on strikes. High rising inside and tight.
Eccles was way out in front and trying to chop at it up at neck level. And that'll be strikeout number 3 for Beaubien here on the evening.
So here's Katie Quinlan with the runner on second and 1 out. Carol Hutchins is going to bring the infield in. Blanco and Uden at the corners pulled in significantly. And the first pitch is just off the plate for a ball.
The Michigan fans over to our left here on the third base side, much to their chagrin, a ball.
Rodriguez playing right in the middle between second and third. She has to be ready to come over to third and cover if the ball is put in play. Canfield straight up at second. Blanco way in. And that pitch is, again, just off the plate. Alexander jumps right up.
Your home plate umpire tonight, Mike Burwell. Over at first base, Liz Hammerschmidt, who just finished up behind the plate duties in the last game. And over at third base, Brian Smith.
He was the home plate in the first game. The 2-0 pitch, a bunt showed and whiffed Katie Quinlan. And so the count 2-1.
Quinlan was 1 for 2 yesterday against Nebraska, had a walk as well.
The 2-1 coming from Beaubien. The bunt laid down, but it is foul. Didn't get out of the right-handed side batter's box. So now it's 2-2. Beaubien has some room to work to try to get another big strikeout. And with Lindsey Besson on deck, only a 146 hitter versus the 310 hitting Quinlan, it's a big drop-off. This would be a big second out. The 2-2 coming, swung on and tapped. Just foul down the third base line.
Might have just felt a couple of small raindrops here. Something to keep an eye on. Just feeling a light sprinkle across the forehead. A note from our fellow East of the Rockies compatriot Kevin Klein. It is weird to see Megan Beaubien not in the sunglasses tonight.
The 2-2, that one is tapped to third. Fired across the diamond. Uden gets the out. Runner Evelyn goes down to third. So now a runner on third and 2 outs. Big opportunity for Lindsey Besson, who struggled at the plate this season, but it would be a huge run for the Spartans.
Struggled at the plate yesterday as well. 0 for 2 to open up her series. Just 146 overall.
Total of 12 hits, 2 doubles, no triples, no homers. For Besson, the catcher, a senior.
Not a lot of power waiting behind in the 9-hole either with Bakay.
First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Spartans don't need a home run, they just need a single. Anything to finally get that first run. It's been 13 2/3 innings against Beaubien this season. Still no runs scored for the Spartans against the Michigan Ace. The 1-0 is a strike on the inside corner.
Well placed from Beaubien to go back inside.
Count moves to 1-1. One pitch is swung on and popped up down the foul line. Blanco just doesn't have room.
That one tailed just a little bit towards that fence line, just beyond the Michigan State dugout on the first base side. And just getting over her shoulder, beat her by about 2 steps. And saves Besson to hit another day.
So the count is now 1-2. Beaubien's ahead with 2 strikes. We'll see what she dials up. The 1-2 pitch on its way, and that one is fouled straight back and a little off to the side. But a way late swing there from Besson, trying to catch up with the heat for Beaubien.
I mean, really putting the ball in play tonight with the way the conditions are at this point. You've already seen a couple of miscues and bobbles around. Besson just needs to do a little something with it.
1-2 pitch. Ooh, got her on the hands. It looked like.
I think they might be saying that it came up and got her on the nub of the bat, and now the home plate umpire Mike Burwell going to talk to Hutch really quickly, get a couple of balls.
I think they're going to put Besson on first. It sure didn't look like it hit her. I mean,
there wasn't a visible wince or anything coming off the hands in this cold.
Now she is kind of looking a bit at the hands.
Even if it comes in off the end of the bat there, too, that'd still sting the hands, but the Michigan fans to our left again arguing with Mike Burwell that they heard a bump off the bat.
Certainly sounded like one off the bat, but if it makes, if it hits kind of both, a little tough.
Either way, it's going to put runners on the corners for the Spartans here with 2 outs in the top of the second.
That's a tough situation. It's a rough hitter at the plate, and you're ahead 1-2. That's a tough one to let her go down to first in that situation. But McKay not much better at 162, and she is a lefty versus a lefty Beaubien, so even that matchup a little bit more favorable.
Those of you at home potentially beneficiaries of the slow-mo replay, let us know if you saw that one a little better than we did. At WCBN Sports on Twitter, the key mode of communication throughout the broadcast.
McKay's kind of interesting situation when you look at her hits. She has more triples than she does homers and doubles combined. 3 triples, just 1 homer and 1 double. So here's the first pitch from Beaubien, and that one just missed. Command not quite as sharp here in this second as it was in the first.
Well, and again, on another lefty hitter, Beaubien trying to go to that outside part of the plate and just misses that edge, but a similar MO.
The 1-0 to Biquet is a strike on the outside corner. That was what she wanted on the first one.
Yep, brought back inside, a hair by Katie Alexander's glove, but draws the strike call to even it out at 1 apiece.
The 1-1 on its way. Drops in, but a little low, 2-1.
Tried to go with the off-speed there, didn't fool Biquet. Again, just a 162 hitter on the season. Trying to do something big here at the plate for the Spartans to scratch across the first run of the game.
2-1, it rises a little high in the count now, 3-1.
Maybe a hair high, hair outside. Not a lot of room for error for Megan Beaubien now to avoid walking the bases full. With the top of the order waiting back in the on-deck circle.
The 3-1 pitch is way high, and that's ball 4. So things getting interesting here. Bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the second, and it'll bring the Spartans' best hitter, Leah Forrester, to the plate.
She struck out in her first at-bat. We'll see how she fares here against Beaubien in her second go-round the rodeo.
Well, a factor, no doubt, is the cold. You've got to keep your hand a little warm. Forrester was caught looking her last time up, and that one is down. Alexander's going to go out to talk. Command's just not there right now.
And try and settle it down a little bit. Just to give the scene again, Biquet stands on first, Callahan on second as a pinch run, and Eveland over on third.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. A big moment in this game, giving Michigan State a rare opportunity to try to score some runs that they just really have not had all season against Beaubien. The 1-0, swing and a foul back to the screen, and now the count is 1-1.
Might have been a decent one to let go for Forrester. It was pretty inside, jammed her up, but she got a piece of it. Beaubien trying to get out of her first sticky situation of the night.
Steps back on the rubber. Alexander goes down into the crouch. Puts the ball in the glove, the wind-up, and the delivery. The 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1.
Keeps looking for that outside edge and still just not quite finding it there. At a certain point, she's going to have to come a little bit closer back over the plate.
Well, you got to be careful with the power of Forrester in the 10 home runs. Two-one pitch. Oh, boy. That off speed froze Forrester and then just deposited over the plate for a clear strike, and now it's even at 2-2.
Yep, you see the heat, and then you take about 15 off there and drop it right over the heart to bring it back even. It's a good mix there to get Beaubien right back in it.
So bases loaded, 2 outs, the 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled down the third base line. A late swing, or actually an early swing there from Forrester out in front of it.
Bases still loaded here for the Spartans. Quarter-final action of the Big Ten tournament under the lights. Late, edging near midnight back home in Ann Arbor.
So the 2-2, one more time, swung on and fouled again. This is a good battle between the Spartans' best hitter and Michigan's best pitcher.
A whale of a match here. Forrester trying to scratch across the first run of the game. Beaubien trying to put away a tight spot and get out of it with no damage done.
The 2-2 swung on and fouled once again.
Again, late on that one by Forrester, but just in time to get it back to the back netting here behind home plate.
I will say that Forrester isn't seeing the ball too well, it doesn't appear. None of these
Well,
have been...
again, that cold as well. Just a little bit longer to get that bat around, so got to adjust time-wise.
The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled once again. A long at-bat.
Doing what needs to be done to get that pitch that'll eventually get misplaced off the plate. Doing exactly as you teach. Plate protection mode with 2 strikes on her.
The 2-2 one more time. Swung on and hit right back up the middle. It's going to get off the glove of Canfield. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. And Michigan State with an early 2-0 lead in this game.
And that is an excellent at-bat by Leah Forrester. Battling against Beaubien. Finally gets one that she gives right back up the middle. Past the diving glove, and that'll bring 2.
Well, that is, that's what happens when you make some mistakes against lesser hitters.
And now we'll see how Beaubien works from behind. Runners on first and second. Forrester on first. Baquet on second with Long stepping 2.
She had the opportunity to get out of a jam against a pair of 170, 150 hitters and gave up a hit by pitch and a walk, and leads to that. The first pitch to Long is a strike.
She struck out in her first at bat against Beaubien back in the first.
The 0-1 swing and a miss, 0-2.
Looking to get out of a troublesome inning is Megan Beaubien.
Puts the ball in the glove. The 0-2 pitch. Ooh.
Almost hit her up on the elbow as she twists out of the way inside.
Still not the best command from Beaubien so far. The 1-2 to Long. Just missed on the outside corner.
Trying to sell it as best she can was Alexander.
Held it there a long time. The 2-2, and that one is fouled. Michigan State doing a good job fighting. They've done something to change the approach, or perhaps Beaubien just showing a little weakness that she hadn't shown in the previous 2 appearances. Two once again. Ooh, boy, just missed.
Low.
And now it's 3-2.
These Spartan hitters giving Beaubien fits here in the second inning, as they've already scratched across 2.
The 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul off the screen. These last 2 at-bats very lengthy. And now the pitch count about to be 50 for Beaubien in just 2 innings.
Spartans doing exactly what you need to put yourself in a position to make the upset early.
The 3-2 pitch, oof,
just misses again off that outside edge, and boy, at a certain point, I think Hutch looking confused.
She's not happy.
Barking directives to Katie Alexander as well. And again, a bases loaded situation for Beaubien to deal with.
Katie Ladd coming up, bases loaded, 2 outs.
And Ladd singled in her first at bat back in the first inning.
That's a strike.
Beaubien just brought that drop action up just enough to catch the lower edge of the zone.
The 0-1 on its way, swinging a high fly ball to right. Falk really in trouble coming on and now making the catch. Ooh, dangerous looking play. Didn't really see it very well, but she finally tracks it down. But the Spartans, with a very fine inning, they get a couple hits
I'll tell you what, Bonnie Thole ran all the way out of the dugout as that one was tailing to the right, or I should say to the left, away from Falk to our right. She was all the way over on the third baseline by the time the catch was made.
Yeah.
The wind here doing a number on that high fly ball, but Beaubien gets out after giving up 2 runs, and now the Wolverines got to work from behind and get back in this game against Zalewski.
A big team conference in front of the dugout. Michigan's going to have to produce some offense. They went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Or in the bottom of the first, rather, as we go to the bottom of the second. So it is a very light mist coming down.
Jaren and I definitely going to be investing in some long underwear at Walmart tomorrow before we step back out here either to watch Michigan or watch Michigan State. Far from a bygone conclusion that the Wolverines can take care of the Spartans, especially after 2 runs in the second. 4, 5, 6 for Michigan. Uden, Alexander, and Falk due up in the bottom of the second.
So Uden will lead off. A .356 hitter with 3 homers on the season. A lot of walks to get her OBP up in the .450 range. A breakout sophomore campaign for the third baseman, looking to get something going here in the bottom of the second, trailing 2-0 to Michigan State. First pitch from Zalewski is low for a ball.
It was a Uden who showed through in the last game, Taylor Uden with the walk-off home run to send Indiana to the semifinal tomorrow. Now the younger Uden looking to do something for the Maize and Blue.
The 1-0, and it is foul tipped off the glove, maybe off the hand of Besson, the catcher, and then going to the backstop, shaking it off. Count 1-1 on Uden. That pitch dives inside, 2-1. Michigan State really accounting for the win. They've stationed the center fielder Forrester well to the left of center, basically playing left center. Huge gap in right center. The 2-1 off speed is a strike. That's a nice pitch from Zalewski.
Right down Broadway for the 2-2. Zalewski looks comfortable. She just rolled the sleeve up in this cold as well. Looks settled. Trying to keep that hand warm, the only real objective there.
The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed in the dirt. Besson picks it up, throws down, just does beat Uden. It is a very lazy throw for a strikeout in the first out of the inning.
That'll bring up Katie Alexander for the Wolverines, the 5-hitter.
Up to bat for Michigan, number 17, Katie Alexander.
Alexander with 5 homers on the season. The catcher played just about every game. Right-handed hitter digs in. And that one is swung on and popped up down the first baseline, but it's going to get out of play.
And just realizing also those 2 runs that Michigan State scored in the top of the second, the first runs they've scored against the Wolverines this season.
Yep.
After a 1-0 victory for the Wolverines and an 8-0 run rule in 5 innings for Michigan in the last matchup.
They're going to have to find some of the offense they had last time up. Now, it's interesting. Whatever it was about Uden, they must have seen something on the scouting report about opposite field because of the lefty hitter they were shading in left center. Now, not at all against Alexander, and there's a ball outside. Forster's moved back into right away dead center.
Yep, everybody playing straight up.
Must have been something they saw in the scouting report about Uden. Count 1-1 on Alexander. Here's the pitch. She's way out in front of that off-speed pitch and swings and misses 1-2.
Way out in front, and Zalewski pulling the string as it has the floor drop out from underneath it.
Oh, the count 1-2. And Alexander hits that one down the right field line, but it's going to arc and drop foul.
It's good contact for Alexander. Just got to straighten that one out a little bit.
Time it up a little bit better. Falk is on deck. The count remains 1-2 on Alexander.
Couple practice cuts out of the box before Katie steps back to the plate.
The 1-2 swing and a miss. She got her.
Went right back to where she got that second strike, that off speed. Drops right out of the bottom there. And swinging over top and late, Katie Alexander.
So that's 3 strikeouts in the first 5 hitters for Zalewski. Really looking strong so far in this one. It's up to Aiden Falk to try to figure her out. That pitch way inside, and the count is 1-0.
Falk hitting .311 on the season. Trying to provide a little 2-out offense here in the bottom of the second for the Wolverines. Down 2 runs.
The 1-0 pitch is down in the zone and away, but a swing and a miss from Falk.
Just waving after that one lazily down and away.
Michigan really not seeing the ball well from Zalewski. The 1-1 swing and a miss way late on that swing, so now it's 1-2.
Everything just seems to be moving in slow motion for Michigan here early.
Zalewski mixing her pitches well. The 1-2, and she's out in front of it and yanks it foul.
Keeps herself alive at 1-2. Zalewski with a smile in the circle. Pretty content with her performance so far here. She's had 5 up and 5 down.
The 1-2 to Falk is outside, and the count goes to 2-2. The 2-2 pitch and out in front of it, but making contact is Falk as she continues to battle Zalewski. A lot of long at-bats here in the second.
For both sides, top and bottom, Leah Forrester worked that. Must have been an 8 or 9 pitch at-bat by the time she sent the single back up the middle to score 2. Now Falk extending her at-bat.
The 2-2, oh boy, that hit her. Inside.
I think it got her in the elbow guard. Didn't really wince.
Nope, just went right on down. So Michigan gets their first base runner against Zalewski in the form of a hit by pitch, but it's all the same. It'll bring Taylor Swearingen to the plate. And also getting quite a bit of the catcher, Besson.
Yeah, she's limping a little bit as well. That might have got her up above the knee guard there as she kind of walks around. Everything in this temperature increasing the pain level exponentially.
So it's Taylor Swearingen going to be coming to the plate as Besson gingerly walks over and says she's ready to go.
Clears her dirt out of her place and takes her spot back behind the plate as Swearingen steps to the plate with that long, wavy blonde hair out of the back of the white helmet.
Swearingen has been a walk machine this season with a monster OBP as a result. She swings and misses on the first pitch. 13 walks in, I believe, 33 plate appearances. I think she has a hit by pitch, too.
That's 5 out of the last 10 pitches that Zalewski's gone to the off-speed, and all 5 of them Michigan hitters way out in front.
Looking for the fastball. The 0-1 is a little inside. backs Swearingen out of there.
Hutch trying to get her to keep the butt down there. She's yelling, sit, over from that third base box. Just like my golf swing.
The 1-1 swung on and missed.
Again, out in front as it falls down underneath. That one with more speed, but the same result. And Zalewski trying to get out with just the hit by pitch and no more. A strike away from heading back to the dugout.
The 1-2, down and away. And the count goes to 2-2.
It's a good-looking pitch to try and draw a little wave from there with some room to work on a 1-2 count. Goes to 2-2. Good job by Swearingen not to chase.
It'll be interesting to see if Zalewski goes back off speed. The 2-2 swung on and missed. And that'll end the inning. So Michigan gets a hit by pitch, but nothing else. We go to the third. Our score, Michigan State 2, Michigan 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Well, we'll see how Megan Beaubien comes back here again. So far, the story of the game, it's been missing on that outside edge for her.
You'd like to see a very quick inning from Beaubien after a very long second inning.
Had some time to try and get warm in the dugout. Quick inning could put Zalewski right back out there into the cold. Concession stands officially closed for the night here at midnight on the East Coast, 11 o'clock Central Time in Madison. The warm-ups have concluded. Back underway in a moment.
It'll be Carrasco, Eveland, and Eccles. Here in the third. Carrasco, the first baseman, grounded out to third. Back in the first.
Blanco having a quick word with Alexander. Carrasco had a ground out over to third in her first at-bat of the game. Spartans trying to expand on their lead. Just waiting for the TV timeout to conclude on Big Ten Network. Coming completely commercial-free on WCBN Sports, where we don't play the same 4 commercials every break. Drain and I spent a lot of time watching BTN in the hotel today waiting for the delays to end. And they do play the 4 same commercials.
Yep.
The Marine Corps.
The Marine one.
The ESPN, what's that show that they've got Jason Whitlock and...
It was the Whitlock-Coward one.
Yep.
The Wisconsin Researcher Fish one. So the first pitch to Carrasco dives inside, ball 1. You'd like to see Beaubien deliver a couple of first pitch strikes here in this inning and get back ahead of hitters. But even when she did get ahead of Forrester and Long, it just developed into very long at-bats, was never able to put them away. The 1-0 is down in the dirt. That one skipped in well in front of the plate.
The release has just been off, trying to spin it. Just got to try and settle down and play her game here as best she can. Obviously, 2 runs looming on the board, but a fresh slate here in the third.
The 2-0 is a strike on the inside corner. Really no hard contact for the Spartans today off of Beaubien. It was a big kind of blooper that dropped in right field, and then the big hit from Forrester was really just a soft single that barely got out of the infield. The 2-1 swing and a miss.
That's that exact pitch that Zalewski was favoring the last half inning for the Spartans, that off-speed, getting Carrasco out in front early as it drops right out. 2-2 now, coming back in the count very nicely after going down 2-0 to start.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. She got her on strikes. Nice pitch. Outside and getting the wave.
The pitch so nice she did it twice in a row.
So that'll be now the 4th strikeout for Beaubien. 4 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 walks. The hit by pitch and a couple earned. So far the line.
We'll bring up Eveland, and they actually scored that hit down the right base line, a double.
Which is ridiculous. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen.
Impartial scoring being done by the home Wisconsin crew, so say what you will, Drain. A double on the board it is. And I think we're going to have a ball switch here as Beaubien didn't like what she had in the hand.
Throws it back to Alexander, who gets a new one.
Quick trade out with Mike Burwell, and then back to the rubber. Going to stick with the same pitch she had already in mind.
The 0-1 is high. 1-1 on Eveland.
Yep, just a bit above the letters there, but some good rise action on that for Beaubien.
The 1-1 is in the dirt. 2-1. Once again, kind of skipping in front of the plate. Alexander gets up, walks a few paces in front of the plate, and says something to Beaubien before she fires it back. The 2-1 is in the dirt, and now Alexander's going to go out and talk. Beaubien lightly grabbed her arm, but it was not her throwing arm, perhaps trying to dust off her pitching hand.
Little powwow in the circle between Alexander and Beaubien, quickly broken up by Mike Burwell.
As there is still a little slight mist coming down.
Yep, just dusting the front lenses of my glasses here.
3-1 is a strike on the inside part of the plate. A late strike call there from Mike Burwell. And it pushes the count full at 3-2.
Eveland was a half step over down the first baseline. Comes back on the ring up.
The 3-2.
Just missing in a very similar location.
Yeah, that looked about the same pitch. And really selling it hard was Eveland. She takes her walk. But now that's the 3rd walk issued by Beaubien.
Bring up Ebony Eccles, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. 1 down, runner on first. Spartans up 2 on the Wolverines.
It's really a lot of self-inflicted damage so far from Beaubien. And Eccles lines it right to short. Picked by Rodriguez. Throw over to first, not in time to double off Eveland, but a nice job to snare the liner. That was really maybe the best hard hit ball we've seen today, but right where Rodriguez was.
Natalia Rodriguez also a snub for that all-defensive team Big Ten release this week. Did a good job sitting back on that shot on a rope right over to short. 2nd out of the inning. Nice contact by Eccles. Really the first hard hit ball off of Beaubien so far tonight, but it found the exact wrong spot for the Spartans hitter.
There's Katie Quinlan. There's a ball outside 1-0. Once again, Beaubien unable to find the zone on first pitch strikes, and now Alexander is going to go out and talk.
It's going to bring out Jennifer Brundage, the arm specialist for the Wolverines. And as you said, a lot of first pitch balls for Beaubien so far tonight, so just trying to settle it back into that system.
Just hasn't been on today.
It's a hard day for anybody to be on with the way this has kind of gone. Again, it's been a whale of a day here at the Goodman Softball Complex in Madison. It started off in the morning with hefty rain. I think a total of 6 hours worth of delays or more for that first game between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
And it wasn't just raining, it was coming down hard for a while.
Yep. This game was supposed to start at 4:30 originally, pushed back to allow for that Wisconsin and Minnesota game to conclude, and then also for Indiana and Illinois to conclude as we got underway just about an hour ago.
There's a pitch outside, 2-0 on Quinlan. Certainly the field still a little slick.
Much credit to all involved with the grounds here, though. They've done a heck of a job getting these games in today.
The 2-0 pitch swung on and missed by Quinlan.
Awkward swing up high. Drew the chase on the high cheddar there.
It's not like the Spartans have really seen the ball great out of Beaubien. They've been defensive enough to keep some of these at-bats alive, but they've definitely benefited from being patient. There's a ball off a bunt attempt that goes foul, 2-2. So the count even. That softball gets tossed into the dugout. They have the new one for Beaubien to get ready and get back to work. Quinlan showing bunt again. The 2-2 pitch. She's way late on the swing and shoots it foul down the third base line to the bleachers.
Not really showing bunt. It's that lining it up where keep that bat even with the plate, and then as the wind-up in motion starts, bring it back to the shoulder. Just a timing up measure for Quinlan.
The 2-2 pitch. That one is hit right to first. Blanco gets the glove down. She touches the bag, so Michigan gives up a walk, but nothing more, and we head to the bottom of the third. Our score, Michigan State 2, Michigan 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Boy, I think you undersold how good of a grab that was, the stab just over to the left by Blanco down the line. That could have very easily scored someone from first had it gone all the way down the line, but
not super hard hit, but well placed.
Yep. But no damage done. Spartans maintain a 2-run lead, and Michigan heads back 2 in the bottom of the third to try and chop down on that.
Looking to finally line up the pitches from Zalewski properly and really see the ball a bit better. They've been a bit dazed and confused in the
just a hair
first 7 plate appearances we've seen. Earlier in the day there was standing water supposedly out in the outfield, which brought in the chopper delay, which certainly was believable. When we went out to lunch, it was really coming down hard. Yep, we had to have the top dial on the windshield wipers.
Thought the hurricane season was over.
So it'll be Hogan Rod, Rodriguez, and Canfield, 8-9-1. Due up in the bottom of the third for the Wolverines, looking for their first hit. They do have one base runner in the game so far. A hit by pitch with Falk.
It's a hard day in the biz, Drain. Hoganrod's lining up for that practice cut with the with the right hand in her back pocket. Trying to keep warm.
No glove on the right hand.
No glove on the right hand. That's going to be a stinger if she makes some contact.
Hoganrod, 4 homers on the year. She's definitely heated up recently since Michigan really returned to Alumni Field. 6 doubles, 2 triples for her in a breakout campaign. The sophomore outfielder really did not see the field much last season, but has been elevated into a role and has been quite good, especially defensively for Michigan, playing both left and right, depending on the starter. So the first pitch she sees from Zalewski is a ground ball hit hard to second, but a nice little quick play by Bakay for the first out.
Maybe a hair eager, but saw something she liked on that outside part and took it for a little hopper over to second.
Definitely good contact.
1 pitch, 1 out, making it easy for Zalewski to start off the inning.
She's only got 35 pitches through 7 outs recorded thus far. So here's Natalia Rodriguez. She's in a bit of a slump right now. Hasn't had a ton of at-bats on the season, a lot of sacrificed bunts. But with nobody on, they're going to look to try to get the speedy slapping shortstop aboard. The 0-1, she swings and hits one hard into second, and a throw to first. Got her. Nice play, Bakay. Ball hit right at Bakay, and she was drawn in with the slapper. and she had to really reach out the glove to grab it, and then with the speedy Rodriguez make a quick flip. Nice play there from Bakay.
So a couple of quick outs on ground outs to second, and just like that, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third for Michigan.
Well, Michigan's only changed their approach from sitting back and being fooled on the off speed to being a lot more aggressive, swinging first, second pitches here. But now it'll be Canfield to flip the order to the top, and it'll be the second time through. Another look after having seen Zalewski once tonight. We'll see how Michigan changes their approach as that first pitch is outside for a ball.
No hits so far on the evening for Michigan, trying to get something moving.
The 1-0, and Canfield swings and hits this one. It's going to drop in for a little bloop single down the right field line.
Well, you call it the broadcaster's curse if you want, but there you have it. First hit of the night for Michigan, just like that, on the little Texas leaguer into shallow right.
Just fighting it off and depositing it into the right field right along the line for a little bloop single, but it gets, for the second straight inning, a runner aboard with 2 outs. Now it'll bring Peters up, who grounded out to third her last time up.
Boy, that wind's got to stop cutting from center field back in. Need to push that wind back out.
It's definitely blowing balls down, as we saw with Falk, who really had trouble with that fly ball.
Also increasing my sniffle ratio significantly.
Yeah, it's really getting cold. I don't know what the wind chill is, but it's got to be close to 32. Peters at the plate. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, and she swings on the first pitch and taps it foul. With Blanco on deck, objective to put a pair of ducks on the pond for the big hitter. Count 0-1 on Natalie Peters.
A lot of eagerness in all these at-bats so far here in the bottom of the third from the Wolverines. Not afraid to swing the bat early in the count.
The 0-1 pitch is a strike, and there's a throw down to second. That one gets away. Going down to third, nope, staying at second is Canfield. She could have given it a shot.
They're actually going to call it out. I think they're going to say that she left early.
I looked down for just a split second, and the call was made.
Hutch is incensed. Mike Burwell up with the right hand.
I think are they calling?
Not sure if they called the left early. We'll see.
I think they might have called an infraction on Peters for
not
blocking
getting out of
the
way.
throw. Yes.
Yeah, it was a very bad throw.
Yep.
Went directly between short and third. Well, that will end the inning for Michigan after they finally looked like they might have had something going. Just the little bloop single for Canfield, and that's it. And just like that, Beaubien has to head back out to the circle. The clarification's still not through. I think you're probably right, Drain, because I don't think she left early.
Yeah.
Chance of go green, go white here at the Goodman Complex in Madison.
Well, Michigan was definitely more aggressive in that bottom of the third. They were swinging earlier, and with some solid success. We'll see if they continue that, but first they got to get through the top of the fourth. They send Beaubien back out there, still struggling with the command. She'll be facing Besson, Bakay, and Forrester, and 8-9-1. The 8-9 hitter's very weak for the Spartans, but Beaubien really, when you look back on that second inning where the Spartans got 2, you really think about those 2 at-bats with 2 outs, being unable to retire a pair of very weak hitters, allowing one to reach on a hit by pitch and the second on a pretty bad walk where the pitches weren't even close. But again, with 77 pitches through just 3 innings, you'd like to see Beaubien kind of cruise through the 4th and the 5th. Get some quick outs. Pound the zone, because she's been unable to get those first pitch strikes in this one. First pitch is down in the dirt.
And another first pitch ball for Beaubien.
And one that wasn't particularly close.
Maybe she should put the sunglasses back on.
The 1-0, and that one is bounced right back up the middle. Uden's going to have a play. She fires over to first. It bounced off of Beaubien and redirected right to Uden, and she gets the out.
Just like she planned it, you know?
Right
gotta use your body to direct that thing.
Well, and that's a reversal. That's a reversal of the big hit from Forrester, where Beaubien really reached down and almost had it, and it just got past her. That one bounced right off of her.
She looks no worse for the wear after taking the contact.
She delivers a ball there to Besson, or excuse me, to Biquet now, with Besson retired. A couple of Bs at the end of the MSU order. Biquet going no gloves. And there's a strike, 1-1. It's not like Beaubien's been unable to get the second pitch strike. It's just the first pitch strike.
Maybe that's the strategy, you know? Lull them into a false sense of security.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Nice pitch there.
Took a hefty chop there.
And now
right
the count,
through it.
1-2.
Biquet is braver than I with no gloves. She might not want to make contact at this rate. Send a shiver right up your spine when you hit that.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. She got her on strikes. Nice strikeout there from Beaubien. And now 2 quick outs. So if she can get Forrester down, she can get through this 4th inning relatively quickly and send the hitters back up there. Forrester in this game, a strikeout looking, and then the big 2 RBI single. That is the difference in this game. It was a slow tapper right back up the middle. Beaubien unable to glove it. It went off of Canfield's glove and dribbled into the outfield, scoring 2 runs. It was a bases-loaded 2-out situation the last time up. Forrester swings and fouls one right back to the screen in front of us, 0-1. Beaubien puts the left hand in the pocket of the trousers, keeping it a little warmer, or perhaps dry. She's also got a towel in the other pocket.
No rosin bag out in the circle there.
The 0-1, swinging a liner down the left field line. It tails foul.
Good contact made on that one.
Little late, though.
Yep.
Unable to line it up, and now Beaubien ahead 0-2, so 1 strike away from getting that confident, quick hitting that she needs.
Again, Forrester with that nice hit back up the middle. Bring a couple around back in the second.
Count 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swung in a pop-up as it tails foul and just stays in the park. Bounces off the railing in the top row of the bleachers on the left side.
Now Forrester might want to play the extended at-bat game again. Worked to her favor last time.
She had it full when she fouled, or was it 2-2? I can't remember exactly. It was one of the two. The 0-2 pitch is another late swing, shooting it foul. The lefty hitter engaged in another long at-bat with Beaubien.
She does not relent. Daring Beaubien to beat her, and she has not been able to so far.
Count remains 0-2. Here's the pitch just outside. Beaubien burns one.
That's all Forrester's got to do, you know. Foul, foul, foul. Wait for that one burn pitch. Foul, foul, foul. We'll see where Beaubien goes. She hasn't tried to come back inside really yet.
The 1-2, swinging a pop-up, and that will arc high and over the railing. And out of play, 1-2. And now 2 new softballs handed to the home plate umpire, Burwell. He gives one to Alexander, who promptly fires it down to Beaubien. She reaches the left hand down to touch the towel before she checks the armband and gets ready to throw another 2-strike delivery to Forrester. The 1-2, and that one is swung on in line to center. Diving is Peters. It gets under her glove, rounding second, throw over there, and getting in with a double is Leah Forrester, a sinking liner that just got under the glove of Peters, and another long at-bat that Beaubien just cannot shake.
Boy, Forrester's a little jacked up over there. Pulled out the bow and arrow on second base. 2-out offense for the Spartans, and that's going to bring Carol Hutchins out now.
That was a 7-pitch at-bat, now 89 pitches for Beaubien. The Spartans have just been badgering her, not going away. It's interesting, the 5 strikeouts Beaubien has generally been short at-bats. She's gotten her strikeouts in really 4- and 5-pitch at-bats, sitting them down quickly. When she gets locked in the longer ones, she's just been unable to find the pitch to close the book. And now Hutchins talking to Alexander and Beaubien. A 2-out double in what was looking like a quick inning. 5 pitches to get the first 2 outs, but Forrester has been a problem all game long. And now to bring up Mackenzie Long.
Hits 4-1 now in favor of the Spartans. Just the one single for Michigan off the bat of Canfield. That was canceled out by an interference call on Natalie Peters to end that last half inning of work for Michigan.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch. And there's your first pitch strike, finally.
All it took was a good conversation from Hutch, complete with some emphatic movements.
The 0-1 and a bunt laid down to third. Uden gonna fire over, and she got her. Nice play, Canfield covering. And that'll end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Our score, Michigan State 2, Michigan 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
That's how you draw it up. Good charge, good throw. Shifty decision there by the Spartans to drop the bunt with 1 strike.
Well, you got to say that Beaubien has not really been herself, but Michigan's got to be able to score some runs. And
hide under the hood here for a minute.
They've got to be able to produce some offense in this game. They cannot go down silently. Much better swings in the bottom of the 3rd, but they're looking for more here in the bottom of the 4th. Against Zalewski, and another team conversation between Hutchins and the hitters. This is now the 3rd straight time heading to the bottom half of an inning that there's been a team conversation over there in front of the dugout. The Let's Go Blue chant starting.
Apparently we are about 30 seconds ahead of the Big Ten Network. So not only are we commercial free and free in general, you don't have to pay for cable to get us, but we're also ahead of the game. Ugh. All right, I'm going to get out from under the hood now.
They've given us a little piece of wood on top of a folding table.
Little wood shed. It's pretty much. It's about the right size to be my coffin. So, you know, if things don't shape up here, you might just want to put me in there, add another little piece of plywood on top and a couple nails. You can ship me home.
So Blanco leading off, followed by Uden, and that first pitch is down and away, 1-0. Blanco struck out looking her first time up. Again, this is now the 2nd time through the order for the Spartans. And that pitch is outside 2-0. So you want to know the real reason that we know that it was on Peters is because she's not still hitting.
Yep.
If it had been on Canfield, Peters would have come back up as it was in the midst of the at-bat.
Not sure if the stat broadcast system has the correct button for what occurred because it just put it in as a ground out.
The 2-0 is high and outside. This might be the old intentional, unintentional walk.
Yeah, pretty avoidant here on Blanco to open up the inning. Gonna put it to Uden. It seems like here, unless maybe just an anomaly and they come back on 3-0.
The 3-0 pitch catches the outside part of the plate. Blanco does have the ability to swing on 3-0, as she's done. Hit a homer earlier this season to end the game against Rutgers, but she took that one for a strike, and now the count 3-1. And she swings and fouls it well out of the stadium. So now Michigan State going back to attack after 3 very cautious pitches. Michigan looking to get the leadoff runner on for the first time in this game. A 3-2 count on Blanco.
Looking for a narrative switch here on the full count.
The 3-2 swing and a miss.
Boy, Zalewski goes down 3-0 and comes back 3 pitches in a row. And shuts Blanco down.
Well, someone's going to have to do it. Someone's going to have to change the way things are going for the Wolverines. Someone's got to step up. Uden at the plate. With 1 out, she swings and misses on a pitch way outside.
Out in front of it as well.
Nobody really seeing the ball all that well right now. Oh, and 1 the count. She shows bunt as it goes inside.
Pulled it back in time, so she'll bring it back even. Wow, now they're going to get an appeal. Mike Burwell, a little indecisive down behind home plate so far tonight. Pretty much got peer pressured into calling that Peters interference.
1-1 the count on Uden. That one is off speed and in, 2-1. So Michigan now getting ahead of Zalewski twice in the first 2 hitters. First one ended in a strikeout. The 2-1 swing and a miss inside.
Boy, when she brings the heat on her pitches, Zalewski's been pretty untouchable so far tonight. Has had that very nice complementing off speed to go with it as well. We'll see where she goes on 2-2.
The 2-2 pitch is outside, 3-2. Uden is a patient hitter, but also very strikeout prone.
Back-to-back full counts for Zalewski. She struck out Blanco. See where she goes with Uden here.
Alexander on deck. The 3-2, Uden lines one right to third. And an easy snag, not hard hit. Evelyn moved a couple of paces to her right and hauled it in, 2 outs.
Made contact, but just looped right into the glove.
Alexander up to bat.
Alexander had a strikeout back in the second.
And that pitch dives in, 1-0.
Little jawing back and forth between the fans here for Michigan and Michigan State.
We saw that with Illinois and Indiana.
Little chit-chat.
The 1-0, Alexander way out in front of it.
Yeah, this back and forth lacks the curse words that were thrown about in that last game.
That got really feisty there.
Indiana had a base runner slide into third, was tagged out, but was injured on the slide, and there was an audible boo-hoo from the Illinois side.
I didn't really think it was that much. The 1-1, and Alexander fouls it.
Whoa! Yikers! Right at the cameraman. He's fumbling around. I think he's all right.
Might have gotten a piece of him.
There's going to be a pause here for a minute as he's down on his knees.
There's one fan standing right behind him, not interested in asking if he's okay, it looks like. Oh, might have got a hit in the face.
They're going to ask for some help.
The event staff motioned towards his face. And now several people have gathered around.
Yep, just going to be a minute break here as we wait this one out, but
was a late swing by Alexander, and she got enough of it to shoot it down the first base line with a nasty hook. And as it tailed towards the seats, it got in too tight on the camera well.
Got past that side netting down the first base side, but
now the fan that was standing right there walks forward and motions to his side of his face. Might have got him in the right cheek. Now Carol Hutchins is walking over, and a couple of Michigan State players have come out of the dugout to see what's going on.
pretty dead silent at the moment. Back to his feet.
He's alive.
Smattering of claps here as he's back to his feet and walking away.
Puts the headset back on.
Nope, that's going to be a replacement, as the individual who was hit's going to be attended to here back behind home plate.
Yeah, he's escorted, and I think we've got the medical staff looking at him.
So the game will get back underway in just a moment here, with a 1-2 count on Alexander and 2 outs. In the bottom of the second, Michigan trails 2-0 against the Spartans here in the quarterfinal.
Well, a long day at the ballpark for everyone involved here today. Just keeps getting longer. This has been a bit of a lengthy game so far. We're just over halfway through. We've been playing for about an hour 20 so far. Count 1-2 on Alexander. Nobody on, 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch is a little high off speed. Count goes to 2-2.
It's a hard take there from Alexander, a couple of oohs as that one goes by. At bat, still alive.
The 2-2 pitch, he's out in front of it and pulls it.
Chopped it hard down that third base side.
A long at bat. Quite a few of those today, mostly from Michigan State against Beaubien, but
yeah, we're about an hour and a half through, and we're sitting in the bottom of the 4th inning, so not the fastest game moving.
We might as well just spend the night here.
Might as well. Put me in this little wood box here. Got a couple of Gatorade towels. I'll be good.
The 2-2. Whoa, way outside. And it bounces off the backstop. Not even close from Zalewski. And now Alexander has the count full. We've gone full now. All 3 hitters this inning.
Zalewski with a big smile on her face. That one just got away from her. Luckily, nobody on base.
So I've always wondered about that play as a hitter. When you see a pitch so blatantly outside, do you ever think about swinging and missing to get the reach on a strikeout?
That one caught the backstop just about right to come right back, but
3-2 is high, and Alexander a gritty walk there. And it brings up Aiden Falk with 2 outs. Michigan looking for their big hit.
put some sand in the teeth, grit. So again, with 2 outs, Michigan has a base runner on here in consecutive innings. Last inning cut short by an interference call.
Actually, 3 straight innings, because Falk reached on the hit by pitch.
Yep.
In the second, now she's up. And she swings and fouls it off the screen.
Everybody a little more jumpy on those foul balls after that. Cameraman took a shot on the first base line.
Falk with 7 homers on the season. She's got power, and one swing of the bat could tie the game. A narrow 2-0 Michigan State lead in the bottom of the 4th. 4 hits for the Spartans, 1 for the Wolverines. Michigan's gotten a walk and a hit by pitch as well.
Could use a couple of long balls here, get myself back to the hotel for a nice warm bubble bath.
The 0-1, and Falk swings and hits that one high in the sky into left field, tracking it down and making the catch is Eccles. And that'll end the inning, so we head to the 5th. Our score, Michigan State 2 and Michigan 0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
And again, burning a base runner to close out the inning are the Wolverines, and things not clicking right now, and time slowly ticking away here for Michigan to get back into this game.
Well, when you're only down 2, you always have the opportunity, but they just haven't been terribly close to getting anything. Not a whole lot of hard contact. A couple of hard ground outs to second. That's really it.
You should join me in this box down here. This is pretty good. Cuts the wind right out of the system.
My feet are just
frozen.
Yeah.
The one smart item I packed was wool socks. Well, you hate to say it, but this game's slowly reminding us of last season's first-round exit in the Big Ten tournament for Michigan at the hands of the very same Michigan State Spartans.
But if I remember correctly, Michigan did score in that one.
Trying to avoid 2 years in a row, an early bounce to the green and white. Michigan will for sure be playing softball after this game no matter what, whether it be tournament ball or regional ball, but
exposes the vulnerabilities in this Michigan team. It's been a lot of all or nothing this season in terms of the hitting. It's either on or it's not.
Trying to improve their regional stock, and again, that selection show is Sunday evening where Michigan will find out where they're playing next.
So Katie Ladd, Carrasco, and Eveland, 3, 4, 5 here in the top of the 5th. Beaubien going to try to continue to keep Michigan in this game. She hasn't been perfect, nor really herself, yet still is giving Michigan ample opportunities to come back. And the first pitch is inside 1-0. Beaubien, as usual, working quickly. The pitch and a foul ball into the dugout. 1-1. A very sparse crowd this late at night.
Developing a light cough in these conditions.
Might get pneumonia. 1-2.
Katie Ladd with that forest green bow at the top of her braided ponytail.
The 1-2 pitch, and that gets a piece of
I think they call it
the hand.
They did not.
And they're going to appeal down to first. They say no swing.
Looked like she went around from this vantage point.
So this is the second time today we've seen this incident where the pitch is a little high and tight, but the Michigan State hitters sort of kind of lean as if to swing and then hold up enough that it gets a piece of the hand, but not enough to register a swing. They get a hit by pitch.
There was an appeal down to Liz Hammerschmidt at first base, and she was the one that said no. And so that's going to be a hit by pitch, and that's a loss of a 2-strike count for Beaubien, and now a leadoff runner on for the Spartans, who are up by 2 runs.
That pitch is down in the dirt, 1-0. The issue for Beaubien has been that side of the plate, the outside against the lefties and inside against the righties. Just high and rising tight inside on the righty hitters like Ladd. And there's a ground ball to short. Rodriguez only has one play. Double clutch. Oh, terrible throw. In the dirt. Can't be picked by Blanco. Rounding third and being held there. Going down to second is Carrasco. And
Rodriguez, who rarely has a gaff at short.
It's now a couple in the last few games. The last game against Ohio State, very ugly for her. A couple errors in that one. And that throw she kind of panicked. I don't know
She
why.
checked down over to second, realized the play wasn't there, and then just a throw that's low down in the dirt that got under the glove of Blanco and back to the dugout. And
I mean, that was going to have to be a tremendous pick by Blanco to have any shot at that, because that bounced well in front of first base. So it'll go down as an error on the shortstop, Rodriguez, and now runners on second and third and nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Danger time.
a slow bloodletting so far here.
Beaubien needs some strikeouts to navigate out of the jam.
Audible size at this point.
Well, entering last weekend, Michigan was number 2 in the NCAA in fielding percentage, and then they just had an absolutely ghastly game against Ohio State. They also had one last week against Western, and now again another error here that, you know, it's one thing to have errors, it's another when they're that kind of ugliness.
And now this is a big test for Megan Beaubien.
It's Caitlin Eveland, who had a double and a walk in the game.
A pinch runner for the Spartans, as Bartz will come on to pinch run at second.
And that first pitch is outside, but a swing and a check that went around. Burwell did not even appeal. He was all over that one. So it's 0-1. Again, a strikeout would be very useful here for Beaubien with the runners on second and third. The 0-1 pitch rises high, 1-1.
Eveland yet to be put away by Beaubien so far tonight. Had that double down the first baseline back in the second, walked back in the third, and trying to add on to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the fifth.
It was a double in a very loose sense of the word. Well, that pitch is outside, 2-1. And the Michigan crowd not happy with Mike Burwell's strike zone, and it just missing. Well,
don't know what to tell you there.
A tight zone tonight, 2-1, and there's a strike. There's an old saying about establishing the zone early on, and Beaubien was very erratic early, and just has not been getting the benefit of the doubt in the outside corners. Got it a little bit in the first, but since then, not really. The 2-2 pitch, check swing, appeal down, no, says Hammerschmidt.
Probably the right call, but close again.
So now the count goes full on the verge of walking the bases loaded. Ebony Eccles on deck. The 3-2. Backs are on there. And that should be
that
ball
was just
4.
a 2-2. Again,
No, that should be ball.
the screen.
No, I think that was ball 4. The first base coach is saying, yep, now she's going down there. So that's a walk.
Okay. Well, they did have a goof up on the scoreboard earlier, but yay.
Well, but that's a 0-2 where you're ahead. You got to find a way to sit down the hitter right there. And Beaubien at 97 pitches has been asked to do a lot tonight. Here's Ebony Eccles at the plate, lined out to short, and struck out in this game. Again, a strikeout would be very useful, and that's a strike on the outside corner. Gets it there for the first pitch strike.
Bases fully juiced with none out.
This is a very crucial moment in this game.
Beaubien walking a tightrope above a flaming pit.
That pitch is outside, 1-1.
Eccles struck out in the second. Popped over to short in the third.
Well, Michigan State hasn't been all that successful with runners in scoring position. 1 for 9, but the one big one. The 1-1 is high, 2-1. They're 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 9 with runners on base, 3 for 7 with 2 outs. But some of those were 2 out, nobody on. The 2-1 pitch. Just missed outside. And nowhere to put her. The count is 3-1.
At strike zone, pretty tight. As things continue to barrel downhill here.
Count 3-1 on Ebony Eccles.
Trying to keep this game within reach.
The 3-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball down the left field line, arcing, just foul. Woo! That one had a big tail on it, and it just hooked foul. As precipitation coming down a little bit harder now.
Boy.
But still very light.
Got to pick my heart up off the floor there.
That one is curling towards the post, but it just had enough to arc foul. The 3-2 pitch, way inside.
It's going to walk a run home.
And not sure what to say right now.
Home plate umpire Mike Burwell is the most hated man on the third base side of the stadium.
You know, I thought that one was
It was well inside, yes.
Yeah, I mean
They've been a lot closer, but.
And they've just been unable to find the pitches when it mattered tonight for Beaubien, but she's got to find a way to get out of this jam to give her team any chance of coming back in this one. And there's a swing and a miss by Quinlan. Count 0-1 on Katie Quinlan. Base is loaded, nobody out, and that one is popped up foul off the screen.
Another 2-strike count. Beaubien has gotten a lot of 2-strike counts eventually on hitters tonight, just has lacked that put-away finish that she's touted all season.
5 walks in this game for Beaubien. That pitch outside, 0-2, goes to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball to short. Rodriguez has no play. That'll be an infield single. And this game just kind of falling apart. A soft tapper past the third baseman, Uden, to the shortstop, Rodriguez, and just nothing she could do there.
And I think we're going to finally see the pitching change. I don't know. Hutch signaled with her hands as she came out of the dugout, but that one's a toughie.
She's having a long conversation with Mike Burwell.
There's going to be a few adjustments, it looks like, just trying to get the cards set, and Beaubien is going to come back out now.
And it's going to be Sarah Schaefer coming in. There was a lot of talk about who the number 2 starter would be. It's going to take a lot for that to really matter. Schaefer's going to need to do a lot to get out of this jam and still give the offense some chances to come back. As Beaubien exits the game, and she's going to have a long layoff.
Having about as much fun as a dentist appointment right now.
Now pitching for Michigan, number 18, Sarah Schaefer.
That was not a good first warm-up pitch. It barely made it halfway to home.
I'm going back in the hood.
And, you know, Beaubien certainly this season, she played Florida, she played Florida State. The pressure has not been an issue for her this season. She had 2 fabulous games against Ohio State to seal the Big Ten title. But tonight, it just didn't have it. And not sure when the next chance to redeem herself will be, whether it is tomorrow or sometime in a couple weeks in the regional. But she's going to need to find a time to redeem herself, because this is not what the taste she wants to leave in her mouth after just such a fabulous season in the regular season. To have that many walks And again, it's just been baffling defensive miscues, too, with the error on Rodriguez in this inning.
Up to bat for Michigan State, number 19, Lindsey Besson.
Michigan, again, entering last week, a stellar defensive team, and then 2 total defensive meltdowns against Western and Ohio State. And now 1 ugly error in this inning compounded with other problems. And again, as that pitch is low on Besson, it's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds, walks, hit by pitch, error. I mean, Michigan State, how many hard hit balls have they hit? Maybe 1 or 2. Infield singles. The 1-0, and there's a strike. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swinging a foul back to the screen. 1-2, so Schaefer is ahead. Interesting that Hutchins did choose to go to Schaefer.
I just don't have a lot of comments for you at the moment. Just a little befuddled.
The 1-2 pitch, and that hit the bat, I gotta think. As it's a wild pitch and a run scores, but it went off something. I mean, there's no way. That bounced off the hitter. And now Burwell's going to have to talk with Liz Hammerschmidt and Brian Smith. I mean, there's no way that we're sitting right behind home plate and that very visibly bounced off the hitter. Bat, more than likely.
This is a pretty suspect.
That's a little strange.
You need to do a little investigation.
And they're going to score the run.
That is disappointing.
Huh. You know, Michigan State's been clearly the better team tonight, but that's weird. I mean,
that's just, it's not even like...
That wasn't a particularly close play either. And now there's still conversations going on.
Like you said, Sparty's been the better team tonight, but that's just...
That's weird.
That's a bridge too far, my man.
The 2-2, and there's a ground ball. They're going to throw home, and not going to get the out. Second baseman Canfield threw straight home, not going to get it. The run scores in the form of Eccles, and it's now 6-0 Michigan State.
Eccles is injured, holding her face. Tensions rising between the opposing fan bases as well now.
As Sarah Schaefer in this game now came in with the bases loaded and's gotten, you know, a fine ground out and then just a bizarre situation. I mean, she's been okay through one batter faced.
Score now 6-0.
The runners on the corners.
Still no outs in the inning. And a pinch hit.
Number 12, Kelly Zackerson.
It'll be Kelly Zackerson. So the interesting thing for this Michigan team, again, is kind of in this week, and the week preceding as that pitch is high and outside, it's been the things that the team was so good at this year that has just totally vanished.
So far a 4 spot here in the top of the 5th and no signs of letting up.
The 1-0. And it's inside 2-0. There was a 8-2 win for Western on Tuesday. Michigan had not allowed more than 4 runs in a game all season. Then an 8 spot to Western on Tuesday, an 8 spot in a run rule to Ohio State on Sunday, and now 6 to Michigan State.
And time is called.
Count 2-0. Schaefer delivers. Off speed and a strike.
It's a good pitch. Come back in a 2-0. Just got to get out of the inning for Michigan and then try to think about putting some things together, but
2-1, and that one is lined to right field. It's going to drop in for a single. 1 run scores. Throw over to third. They're going to get the out there easily. Nice throw from Aiden Falk to nail the base runner.
7-0 now.
Besson, but Quinlan scores on that single from Zackerson, a pinch hit single to make it 7-0. And I would be very content with a double to score that 8th run. And we could just get out of here.
Going home early. Ugh. Under the hood I go again. Rain's starting to come down a little heavier now as well to boot. Everything going the way we need it to go right now. Everybody happy. Happy, happy, happy.
That pitch is high, 1-0.
And you can't put a lot of it on Schaefer. That last hit, yeah, got teed up, but
yeah, it was a fine
errors to be had.
Hit.
Couple of gaffes in the field. Couple questionable calls.
Inexplicable situation. The 1-0, hard hit ball, but foul down the third base line. A high chopper.
With the way it's gone, I wouldn't be surprised if they would have called that one fair. Just let it play out. Anything in the general vicinity of the fences, fair game.
Count 1-1. That one is inside, 2-1 on Leah Forrester, who's 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. 1 out in the inning, runner on first. 5 spot already put up. We entered this inning thinking Michigan was going to have some more chances to really come back, and then it just got out of hand. Walks and defensive miscues as a foul to the screen to the left side.
You know, you probably shouldn't tout this, but I put a good amount of cash in my backpack this morning, and I'd love to buy Michigan a break right now.
The count 2-2 on Leah Forrester. 2-2 way high, 3-2.
It's just getting a little nauseating.
Well, this inning's gone on forever.
Oh, I'm going to put my head in the hood here for a second. You tell me how this 3-2 is.
And there's a ground ball to short. Rodriguez flip over to first for 1. Relay to... and no. Flip to second, relay to first.
You wish you could have a double play. You wish. Gonna have to go home and turn on like some old Counting Crows songs and just be sad for a while. First pitch to Mackenzie Long, misses outside for ball 1. Drain not even paying attention at this point.
Just checking the phone for a second. Count 1-0 on Long.
Don't worry, I'll wrap it up for you. You can pack up.
Runner on first. I had never taken my backpack off. We've been here 3 hours, and it's still on 1-1 the count, as that's a strike. If they make us play the full 7 innings in a 7-0 game, I don't know.
Just nothing happens flat for the next 45 minutes.
We're almost at the 2-hour mark in this game. The 1-1.
Misses outside.
2-1.
Yeah, I think some sad 90s pop rock and a nice warm bath sound about right.
There's a strike, 2-2. Are you really going to go in there and take a bath in that bathtub?
I don't know. Ask me again in a half hour.
I will say, did you take a shower this morning?
Yes.
Was the drain not working in the shower?
No, it's fine.
Oh.
Oh.
Last night it kept going down and wouldn't drain the water. Anyway.
Might have just been your rippling chest hair clogged it up.
And the
Foul
count
back.
is 2-2.
Oh, we're playing fast and loose now here.
And by fast and loose, you mean cold and wet.
Yep. And slow.
A long at-bat with Mackenzie Long. The 2-2, high and tight. Jumping up, Alexander.
Another payoff pitch.
As it has gotten wet, it was nice and dry during the Indiana game. The 3-2 swinging a fly ball to left field, backing up. Is Hoganrod now coming back in to make the catch?
And
That'll end the inning.
dastardly fifth inning of 5 spot.
Michigan State gets 5. They lead 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
But there's hope. If I've ever seen a rally get signaled, it's when Soldier Boy comes on. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
I haven't hit this since like 2006.
What year was it?
Was it 06?
That's what we got up on the board. We're trying to guess.
That was
2007.
7 or 8, yeah.
7.
Wow, first iPhone, 2007.
The what year was it during the Indiana game was 05. This one, 07.
Oh, gosh. Death by 1,000 cuts. Rain now blowing hard again. Hang on just one sec.
We've got a gentleman that's come over asking us if the previous broadcaster from Illinois had left some electrical tape, and we do not see any.
Yeah, we're mid-broadcast, but, you know, it's kind of just at a meh point anyways.
If you want to call this a broadcast.
We are indeed broadcasting in some capacity.
Well, this headset is made for pretty good earmuffs.
It has indeed. Not an umbrella there. Oh! Why did I not realize this sooner? There's been an umbrella in this little coffin the whole time. Yes. Yes,
I didn't think it was ours.
It is not. But it's an umbrella.
It is now. It's the University of Wisconsin lacrosse.
Why, yes. Yes, I will use this. I'll protect us, Drain. Don't worry.
Walking around in circles to stay warm. My feet have lost feeling.
How did I not realize this was in the box the whole time? What a good find. But it also means I now have to keep a hand out of my pocket.
It's a trade-off.
Mm-hmm. Here, why don't we just rest it on our heads?
Up to bat, number 23, Taylor Swearingen.
All right, Swearingen going to lead it off for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 5th, down 7 runs.
Swearingen, Hoganrod, Rodriguez.
And this is a terrible umbrella.
He's stabbing me in the head with the umbrella.
We're going to get rid of it now. I thought that might have been a decent play. Not to be had. Away it goes. If anybody's still listening, that's some valiant effort.
That pitch is inside. Count 1-1 on Swearingen. I've been shaking for the past like 15 minutes.
You're also just soaked.
Well, you are too.
Yep.
1-1 in the dirt. 2-1.
Probably going to catch a cold.
Probably.
But we'll have a free day to recuperate, probably.
Yeah. Count 2-1 on Swearingen in the dirt. The walk machine on the verge of a leadoff walk. Just extending this game as long as possible.
Ain't over till it's over.
Or till the fat lady sings. 3-1 the count on Swearingen. That's inside. Ball 4. Leadoff walk.
I don't know. Hey, Drain, do you hear it? Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo, choo. That's the comeback train about to take off from the station.
Hoganrod gonna check in.
Got a 3-10 to Destiny.
Well, it'd be nice if they could have gotten that leadoff walk only down 2.
It'd also be nice if the umpire had eyes.
And Hoganrod way out in front of that one, swings and misses. Mike Burwell being heckled tonight.
By everybody in the stadium.
Well, that one was just
pretty ridiculous.
Count 0-1. And that one is down 1-1. What I mean, almost worse than Burwell was the fact, because obviously it was close to him. If he didn't quite see it, okay. But there's 2 umpires there.
Yep.
If you poll everyone in the crowd, 95 to 100% would have said it hit the bat. The 1-1 Hoganrod shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball, 2-1. The long off in for Christina Zalewski.
Hey, who knows? This could just be Michigan playing the lawn con, Talk about the ultimate lull you into a false sense of security. Put you 1 run shy of a run rule.
Count 2-1 on Haley Hoganrod. The 2-1, she swings. Oh! It got Natalia Rodriguez in the face off the guard.
Well, that's why they put a face mask on the helmet, you see.
Yeah. She grounded that one hard in the dirt with a big bounce over, and it hit Rodriguez.
I'm appreciating whoever's yelling interference over to the left. That's a good heckle.
I do feel for the umpiring crew. They were working the game at 11 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
And it is now just past midnight.
Hey, they had a lot of break time.
They did. 13-hour day at the park. Still counting. We're only in the bottom of the 5th.
It's a 2-2 count on Hoganrod, by the way.
2-2. Got her on the outside corner. Well, there was the outside corner that was never present earlier.
It looked a little high again. I don't know. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Here's Natalia Rodriguez.
Zalewski, not a care in the world out there in the circle.
Well, she's got a lot of padding. Insurance runs. Rodriguez takes a ball, 1-0.
Every time I look over at you, I laugh. Both of us wear glasses, and we need little windshield wipers.
1-0 on Natalia Rodriguez. And that one is outside, 2-0. Zalewski's command not quite there in this inning. She's issued 1 walk. Went full on Hoganrod. There actually was 2-2 on Hoganrod. Now 2 balls on Rodriguez. 2-0. And a swing and a tap foul. Count is 2-1. You know, no matter what you say about the way Michigan's defense and pitching and everything else is gone, yeah, 7 runs is bad, but I mean, there's been 1 hit for Michigan's offense.
Yep.
I mean, that is, more than anything, a bigger, ugly spot in this game. And the count is 2-1. And there's a pitch hit foul down the third base line. A tardy swing by Rodriguez. The count is 2-2.
Well, if you think about it this way, we won't have to sit outside tomorrow.
We can sleep in till a long time. The 2-2, and Rodriguez hits one. It's going to get past the second baseman, off the glove, rather.
Uh-oh.
Kept in the infield, now 2 on, 1 out.
Choo-choo.
Top of the order coming up. Yeah, the Frozen Four was pretty darn cold. I was wearing my coat in that game. We were at the top of the stadium and it was still cold. But this is new. Faith Canfield at the plate. She swings and hits one. It's going to be a blooper and it's going to drop just foul.
Ah!
Oh!
Ah! Ah! Just a little gruff.
That was very similar to her single in the third, the only hit on the day, or actually now they gave the hit. They gave an infield single to Rodriguez rather than an error. So 1 of 2 hits, but it was just the same way. It was just a little blooper that dropped in on the right field side. It was 2 outs in the inning at the time. 1 out here, 2 on. The 0-1, she lines it. Oh, out in front of it. And yanked it down the third base line, just foul.
Eventually, she's going to take her to the dance.
Definitely some good-looking swings from Canfield. See if she can time up Christina Zalewski's pitches.
I've just fogged up my own lenses. Unintentional.
0-2. Outside.
It's a good eye.
Making sure to keep this game going as long as possible.
I'm here for it. You know what? I'm already soaked. I'm already cold. Just keep it going.
Count 1-2 on Faith Canfield. She swings and fouls one down the line, and it will get off the bleachers. We started it at 10:15. It is now 12:15, 12:16.
1:15 back on the Eastern time zone, on the East Coast.
1-2 the count on Canfield. And that one's in the dirt. 2-2.
2-2. 2-2.
A tight battle.
2-2 on 2-5. Runners first and second, 1 out. Down by 7. Shaping up for a marathon finish. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to drip on myself.
2-2 pitches down and in.
Worked it back to a full count now on Canfield. Not going silently into that sweet good night there, Drain.
3-2.
I don't know what you just did.
Just kind of stumbling around. The 3-2 pitch. She swings and grounds one to third. Tap the bag for 1. Fire across the diamond, not in time. So a force at third. keeps runners on first and second. Now 2 outs for Peters. Now a conversation on the mound with Zalewski about something, I think a spike in her cleat.
Checking her cleat. Every little thing we can do to keep this one moving.
For the event staff, no doubt well more than probably 14 hours at this point at the park.
Up to bat, number 11, Natalie Peters.
Natalie Peters at the plate. 2 on and 2 out. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count 0-1 on Natalie Peters. The 0-1 is a foul ball. Count 0-2. The rest of this broadcast will just be groans.
Of varying volumes and degrees.
The 0-2 is outside.
Just a little relief one there. Just.
One and 2 on Peters, and there's a swing and a tap foul. The 1-2, Peters hits it right back to Zalewski. She fires to first. That finally ends the inning. A 5th inning that probably took about 45 minutes.
Everybody, if anybody's still listening. Oh, man. What a bad day.
This one will not be going on the reel.
What a bad day.
Well, on the positive, we went to Chili's for dinner.
Yep.
We had a brew pub for lunch.
Yeah, we had a good day food-wise. It's
A very relaxing day in the hotel.
a little bit of a plus, you know. I still got some leftover Chili's in the car, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a 3 a.m. snack at this point. I said it was going to be a midnight snack at the restaurant.
You know that song that goes like, everything is awesome?
Yeah.
What's like the oppo of that? Like, everything is awful.
You can have the chicken tenders in the bathtub.
I could. Don't tempt me, man. Be eating leftover chicken crispers in my bubble bath. Warm my toes back up.
So here's Katie Ladd to lead off the 6th.
Oh, please, just hit a home run. Do you think they would make them play the bottom half? if they get one more run.
Just end the game.
Why wouldn't you?
And there's a swing and a ground ball to second. Canfield fires to first for the out. That's nice and efficient.
Yeah, I'd be okay with this, too. You just, a couple more of those.
Some one pitch outs would be nice.
Just ready to see where Michigan's going to go play next.
Still have the Big Ten title, and that's what goes up on the scoreboard. Even if Big Ten tournament success has eluded a Michigan team that's won the regular season title for the last 5 years. There's a foul 0-1. It's the opposite of the basketball team. Oh, and 1 the count. There's the ball.
Where? I don't know. I feel myself like already developing the cold, like just standing here.
The 1-1, swing and a ground ball, pulled foul. Third base coach tosses it lightly to Uden, who fires it over.
All right, Sarah, one more strike. Pitch and catch, pitch and catch.
The 1-2, swing and a foul. I've reduced it to no descriptions of the play. You just get to know the ball and the strike.
Just what?
Saving vocabulary. The 1-2, swing and a foul back to the screen.
Still got 5 people on here with us.
Very committed.
We appreciate it.
I can't help but compare this game to the Michigan State football game last fall.
This is much more of a slow hurdle towards nothing.
Yeah, but you were dry during that game.
I was.
1-2, swinging a high fly ball down the left field line, arcing. And is there room to catch it? Oh, boy.
There was, and out of the glove. It's been that kind of day for Michigan, as Carrasco will stay alive.
In and out of the glove of Hoganrod, who had room down the left field line towards the fence. The 1-2 once more is in the dirt. This is the type of game where if you win, it's a legendary great memory. And instead it's this.
Pulled it out in the rain.
The 2-2 in the dirt. We had a top 10 Big Ten weather moments montage.
During the delay today.
They treated us during the 6 hours of delay to Big Ten Treasure Hunter repeat episodes on endless loop, along with the occasional top 10 montage sprinkled in.
Yep.
The 3-2, oh Lord, in the dirt, about 10 feet in front of the plate.
Oh,
golly.
I'm gonna have to ask my priest what I did this week to deserve this. Go to Madison, they said. Softball will be fun.
There's a strike. So Carrasco on first. Eveland now at the plate. 1 out in the top of the 6th. 1-0 high and outside.
Please just soft chop this and walk to first base so he can turn 2.
Schaefer's been mostly fine. 1 1/3, a hit, a walk. Had a lot of weird defensive situations going on. 2-0. There's a strike. I've got to say, I'm not too happy with the scorekeeper because that should have been an error on Hoganrod.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ball that's in the glove. That runner on first, that should not be a walk. That should be an error.
Yeah.
An unearned base runner. The 1-2. Swinging a ground ball. Going to get through the side. Runner stops at second.
All right. 2 more bases.
Here's Ebony Eccles.
I'm covered.
That was a very soft single from Evelyn. Not a lot of hard contact off of Schaefer, but there wasn't much off of Beaubien. It's just been a death by 1,000 paper cuts. No one singular big play. The Forrester hit, sure, but still wasn't really hard contact of any kind. And there were a lot of issues that led up to that play. Here's a strike. Michigan's going to have a lot of soul searching to do about what happened in the last several games, dating back to the Western one, really. High and inside, 1-1. Games with errors and just a ton of runs given up, which had not happened all season long. Like the Monstars from Space Jam came and stole their talent. If you were an alien, which 5 Michigan players would you steal the talent from?
1-1.
Swinging a fly ball to left on a line caught by Hoganrod. Not going to be able to double off Evelyn or Carrasco at second. I think you have to go Beaubien, Blanco.
Yeah.
I'm not saying who you steal, but Rodriguez's fielding's talent has been clearly stolen.
Katie.
Yeah. And then Hoganrod's been so clutch. Or Canfield, yeah. Some combination of that.
That'd be my 5. But I'd take just about anything from the Spartans right now.
There's a strike delivered to Katie Quinlan. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Michigan State looking for the 8th run that could set up the run rule in the bottom of the 6th. The 0-1 on Quinlan, swinging a high pop-up. It's going to get out of play and off the bleachers.
1:30 a.m. on the Eastern time zone now, 12:30 here. About 2 hours and 15 minutes into this slog.
The count 0-2. And there's a ground ball to short, and Rodriguez will just tap the bag for third, so this game will just keep on going.
Beleaguered and beaten down, but just unable to deliver the coup de grace.
You know, this game would suck, but it wouldn't be that bad if we were in a booth.
I would be complaining so much less.
And I would be actually saying things instead of just frozen into it.
Yep. All my joints are just, like, very stiff.
Yeah.
Like, my, like, legs, like, where, I don't know what you call that, where your leg meets your, like, your torso.
Yeah.
That's just, that's tight.
I don't want to walk to the car. I'd like to roll there.
I need my Heelys. I'm never going to listen to this broadcast again, by the way.
I'm going to recommend it to several people.
Send it to all your Sparty friends. Well, we've got you here. If you're interested in listening to my pain on Michigan State calls a little further, feel free to go back to Deadspin.
No, let's not.
Find the 2015 drop punt. Leo Blavin and myself. Jalen Watts-Jackson graduated from Michigan State last week. All right. Don't try and make this dicey or anything.
3 quick outs, please.
I'm getting to the point where the restroom is going to become a thing as well.
Have you ever just seized a broadcast in the middle of the game?
What do you mean?
Just given up?
No. I wish. There have been times.
There's a pitch outside. 1-0. Blanco at the plate, leading off. Her, Uden, and Alexander to begin the bottom of the 6th. She takes a strike, 1-1.
Come on, Tara, you know what to do. Ground out to first, so I can go home.
The 1-1 outside. 2-1. My feet are like frozen into ice cubes.
Yep.
Like nice, like the brick ones.
I'm wearing wool socks, so I can only imagine how bad you are.
2-1 is inside, 3-1.
Just accept our lot in life.
The 3-1 coming is outside. Ball 4.
Free base.
The wind continues to blow.
Really is not windy at all right now, actually. Look at those flags out in dead
No, we're
center.
not feeling it, but those ones right there are
Oh, yeah.
off to the side.
Again, they are checking Zalewski's cleat.
I'm going to revert into the mode I was earlier in the day when we were watching the first game. Just go out there and just play the game. We don't need a chopper delay. Go out there and play the game.
It's about all we're missing right now from keeping this thing going is a chopper delay.
I would like a nice chopper delay. It would make things
Go inside,
interesting.
warm up, come back, finish up. Oh,
And we would
somewhere
just,
in between there,
we
the
would just
equipment-
probably leave if there was a chopper delay.
yeah, somewhere in between there, the equipment got destroyed, quote unquote.
It got chopped by the chopper. Runner on first and the ball high to Uden.
Back-to-back first pitch balls to both Blanco and Uden. Pinch runner, Nikki Wald down on first base.
The 1-0, swing to miss.
Big cut.
Strike, 1-1. One count, outside, 2-1. Should have brought your chicken tenders with you.
Just put them under the hood here, slowly eat them.
Nah. Two one, swing and a miss, 2-2. It feels like this day is like actually several days.
Yes. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Breakfast this morning was like 40 hours ago. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss.
Down on strikes.
Brutal day for Uden at the plate. So runner on first, 1 out for Alexander.
Up to bat, number 17, Kitty Alexander.
I knew this was how the game was going to go. Once we got to 7 runs, I knew it was going to be.
Either way, we're playing all the way to the finish now.
Alexander grounds that one foul. I knew it was going to say 7-0, and they're going to milk this.
Oh.
Count is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch high and outside. A drop of moisture rolled down the side of my face, and I wasn't sure if it was a tear or was it rain.
Could be about anything at this point. 1-1. Swung on foul back to the backstop.
1-1 the count.
1-2 now. Still got 5 people rolling with us.
Count 1-2 on Alexander.
Sorry, Mrs. Drain, we're professionals. We're going down to the finish line here.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. So that's another strikeout for Zalewski in this inning. She's now up to 8 on the game.
Got one for you for each day of the week and then one.
And here's Falk. The runner on first and 2 out.
Use a back massage.
First pitch is swung on and fouled under the camera well, but over the fence, protecting the backs of the bleachers. The count is 0-1. On Falk. Foul ball down the first base side. Now the count is 0-2.
Man, we still got about a half-hour drive to get back to the hotel when we're done, too. Shoot. Rats.
Cue up a nice playlist.
Yeah, we could.
Have to have Let It Be. That was the first one I queued up after that Frozen 4 dagger.
Okay.
0-2 outside, 1-2.
Just put it over the plate.
Count remains 1-2 on Aiden Falk. Here's the pitch. Down and away, 2-2.
It's going to be a ball, too. We're going back to a full count.
Top of my head is really itchy right now.
I'm so sorry.
A 2-2 swing and a tap foul.
Twos across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at the plate. The only difference in all those twos is down 7. God, she's got a big old raindrop on the top of the noggin there.
Count 2-2, swing and a miss. She got her on strikes. Supercharged that one. She got a little excited there. 9th strikeout for Zalewski.
Still got to get 3 more Michigan State outs and 3 more Michigan outs.
The Michigan State players came right out of the dugout and started high-fiving, and I thought for a second the game was over.
Michigan fans packing it up. Starting an exodus to the gate. Have a good night. Drive safe. Just tired.
We begin play in the top of the 7th. Michigan State leads 7-0. They had 2 in the top of the 2nd, 5 in the 5th. So that's some interesting. 2 in the 2nd, 5 in the 5th. Now they just need 7 in the 7th. It'll be Besson, Bakay, and Forrester. 2 pretty weak hitters, and then the best one in the lineup. Schaefer, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk. Some tough defensive plays. Weird umpiring. This game's had it all. We've had cameramen hit. We've had feisty crowds. Defensive miscues. Goofy umpiring. 1-0 pitch, swing, and a foul. Count 1-0 on Besson. Now 1-1. He's haven't updated the scoreboard. Swinging a ground ball right to third. Uden, nice play to bobble it briefly and then fire it across for the out. Michigan State 4 for 17 with a runner on. Michigan 1 for 10. Neither team particularly good in those situations, but Michigan State's had the benefit of a lot of walks and hit by pitches and
7 hits to 2.
Yep. Hence the 17 opportunities with runners on. There's a swing and a miss by Bakay, 0-1. On Bakay. Schaefer puts the ball in the glove and delivers a bouncing ball to short. Rodriguez has got to hurry, fire across. Nice play by Blanco to extend, get the glove down.
That's what we like to see.
And haul it in, 2 outs. So here comes Leo Forrester. I noticed that for some reason... No, never mind. Trying to...
You can't even finish sentences anymore.
I had never noticed that they spell the Forrester with the E in front of the R. And they had it on the stat broadcast, and I was trying to tell if that was correct.
Yeah.
But my glasses are so just messed up that I can barely see the scoreboard to see how they're spelling it.
That first pitch was a ball in the dirt smothered by Alexander.
So after several seconds of squinting, discerned the issue. 1-0 pitch from Schaefer to Forrester, and she bloops a single into left field. Fights it off, a 3-for-5 day for Leah Forrester.
Hot as can be.
Now Carol Hutchins coming out briefly just to get the foul, the softball from Burwell, who then gets a bunch of new ones. Here's Mackenzie Long. Long at the plate. Runner on first. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. There's a ball. 1-0 on Mackenzie Long. Here's the 1-0 pitch in the dirt low, 2-0. Oh yeah, there's a couple of those big fat raindrops.
Yep.
The 2-0. Outside 3-0.
Time's called. Alexander will go talk to Schaefer.
8 hits for Michigan State, 1 walk from Schaefer, 5 from Beaubien. a couple hit by pitches from Beaubien. It was a lot of base runners from Michigan State. After just doing nothing against Megan Beaubien in the first 2 games. 3-0 pitch is a strike. They've taken advantage of a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Opportunistic and a fabulous performance from Christina Zalewski as well. 3-1 on Mackenzie Long is a strike.
Just caught that outside edge.
And the count is 3-2. The 3-2 pitch, swinging a grounder to third. Uden's got to hurry, fires, and gets the out. So, all in all, for Schaefer, 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk. Not too shabby.
3 more outs for Michigan here. Final call. Down by 7. Bottom of the 7th.
Overall, not a terrible day for her. She's going to be expected to do a lot more next season. Elevated to the number 2 role.
Oh, I like it so much more under here.
It'll be a pinch hitter to Lou Allen to lead off in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan State 3 outs away from advancing to play the winner of Northwestern and Iowa. Certainly starting to seem like Minnesota will be the heavy favorite to win a 3rd straight Big Ten tournament title. Allen will be pinch hitting for Swearingen, then Hoganrod and Natalia Rodriguez.
The rain stopped.
We were also under the hood.
Da, 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 da.
First pitch, Allen grounds it foul. Freshman Allen will also be expected to do a lot more next season. A season that all in all produced some, but mostly washed out due to injury. Didn't get the full off-season period, wasn't ready for the start of the year. But a really good plate presence, draws a lot of walks. And you can see the raw power robbed of it this year, but a lot of good things in store for her. There's a strike 0-2. She was the number 8 recruit in the country, about as heralded as Megan Beaubien, who was number 6. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss.
3-pitch strikeout for Lou Allen in the pinch hit role.
And that's number 10 for Zalewski, who has been marvelous.
Up to bat, number 32, Haley Hoganrod.
Working her pitches all around, and she's been confident from the very beginning. And you can see it in the body language and the facial expressions. Hoganrod swings and misses. Owen won the count on Hoganrod. Swinging a little blooper to first, diving play, and hauling it in. Look at that. Laying out Kelsey Carrasco to make the play. Just in foul territory to the side of the bag, and now 2 outs. Couple quick outs. And
Boy.
Now we're 1 away.
What a grab.
Almost there.
Up to bat, number 21, Natalia Rodriguez.
Natalia Rodriguez at the plate.
Still a sliver of hope for Michigan here.
2 outs. Last call. Rodriguez has a ground out and a single to her credit. Check swing did not go, so a ball, 1-0. Want to know the count. That is high, 2-0. Canfield on deck if needed. The count 2-0. There's a strike. 2 strikes away. The Spartans from advancing to the Big Ten Tournament semifinals for a 2nd straight year.
Michigan 2 strikes away from being bounced in their first game of the tournament by the Spartans.
2-1 is inside, 3-1.
That one just missed.
(3-1) on its way.
Just missed as well.
Ball 4 outside. This game will not end. We are almost at the 1 o'clock hour.
2 o'clock Central.
You mean 2 o'clock Eastern?
Oh, 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. Yeah, you're right.
Got your time zones out of whack.
Oh, man. Going on a 3-hour game here. On a perfect night for 3 hours.
Canfield swinging, hits one past the diving second baseman. Bouquet going down to second is Rodriguez, and now Michigan, their 3rd hit of the game. 2 base runners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. At least that was a first pitch hit.
Yep.
So it'll bring up Natalie Peters.
I hate those big.
Oh! Ow! Feels like you get hit in the back of the head. Got smacked. Peters at the plate, 2 on, 2 out, in bottom of the 7th. The 1-0, swinging a ground ball to first. This'll do it. Tags the runner, and that's it. Michigan State wins 7-0. 8 hits to Michigan's 3, and a meltdown in the rain and the cold for the Wolverines.
Well, Michigan will find out where they'll be playing next week on the Sunday selection show, but yep, that's about sums it up. Just a rough slog of an evening for Michigan. Another early exit from the Big Ten tournament, and they will be leaving Madison early and empty-handed.
Just not good enough, and not to be decided on whether we will be at regionals, but
that'll do it for myself.
If we are, then
we'll
see you soon.
Yep, we'll let you know.
If we're not, it's been a ride. Thanks for listening to Michigan Softball. Tune in to East of the Rockies this week for more from us. But for now, from Jeremy Parks, I'm Alex Strain.
Let's go get
in the
warmed
cold
up.
and the wet.
We're
Good
done.
night, and go blue.